It was a great build as well. The cross in, header back across goal.
Yeah, that was a beautiful build-up. Probably deserved to finish. But, wow, could have had a contender for goal of the season at Paul McGinley Field in the opening game. Seems to me, I don't know if you agree, Scott, Methodist starting to get a bit of control here.
Yeah, I think if I had to say, it's still been, I would say, a little cagey. Both teams trying to figure each other out, not necessarily comfortable yet. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Methodist is at least finding their way, although the set pieces so far for Southwestern have been dangerous.
They've been real dangerous. Looked real good on the posts. There was that corner earlier that I don't remember if the stream was on for, so you might not have seen it, but a really beautiful corner. The lead up to earn the corner was great too.
What a ball.
Yeah, a little bit lax. There's a good opportunity here. Really great run from Stephen Floyd. Squares it, just slides on it. I think there was an easier opportunity there.
Yeah.
Rather than sliding in like that. Crossed in again. Again goes over his head, just wide. That is agonizingly wide. Beautiful build up there from the Monarchs.
No, he wants the acrobatic finish to open the season, but it was a great build up, as he said. Ball from the keeper, flicked on through, and from there was just trying to get the finish in the final third.
Sounds like we are on the air. It sounds like you can hear us. So good evening, everybody. Chris Hockman with Scott Lebo for Tiger Network here. We've got Southwestern Pirates in all yellow. They're going from left to right on your screen. Monarchs in all green going from right to left. It's a hot one, but it's only 94. It was 107 this time last week. So, small victories. We'll take them.
We will definitely take it.
And, it's a team from North Carolina and a team from Georgetown just up the road. So
they're ready for it.
They're ready for the heat.
They've
been training in the heat this whole time. So I think we are good. So a goal kick here for Southwestern. And we were just saying earlier, I think before we came on, that we feel like the Monarchs are really starting to get their feet and start looking like the stronger team in this one. But it has been tight.
Yep.
It is game one of the season. So
no, there's definitely been a figuring out period where both teams trying to, settle into the season a little bit.
And we'll run through the lineups. I posted them in the chat, but if you missed it, we'll go through it. So for Southwestern, we've got Johnson in goal, Miller, Sharma, Gunther, Pinto, Sipoleu, Colgrove, Pero, Hardy, Offen, and Grimm. For Methodist, we've got Walker, Mott, Floyd, Riviera, Atwell, Stretz, Manzano, Panos, Broom, Thomas, and Martinez. Nobody's come off the bench yet. Got about 15 minutes in.
What a turn.
Beautiful turn, yeah, agreed.
I think so far for Methodist, it looks like they're going with a 4-3-3 with Floyd and Mott both trying to play that 10 role. They're kind of interchangeable, switching back between 10 and 9. And for Southwestern, it looks to me to be a 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-2-1. It's hard to make out if they're playing with 2 9s or 2 10s.
Yeah, those switches are so useful. Makes it so hard to defend and man up. So, got to throw in here. That turn was from Carson Stretz. Sophomore. All flicked on. Physical stuff. Southwestern, I think, are going to settle for a corner. They do.
They've been dangerous so far on the set pieces, so this could be a good opportunity for them.
Yeah, we saw a corner right when we came back on air that looked really dangerous for the Pirates. They're going to go far post again, I suspect. That one's better dealt with by the Monarchs. Still, though, ball's there for Southwestern. Monarchs wanting to push forward so they can play an offside trap. High press there from Southwestern, too, to try and win it back immediately. As we have Stephen Floyd on the ball, plays back. And they're working along the back line here. Good ball forward, Manzano. Manzano out wide. All the way back to Walker. We saw earlier he got the ball under a bit of pressure. This time, much more calm.
Yep. And I think Methodist will be happy with this right now. They're drawing in this pressure, but so far haven't looked like giving it away, though. Give it away right as I say it.
Well, but it is a foul, so he doesn't give it away.
Yep.
A little bit physical there. from Michael Grimm.
How many till it's a card, though? And it's from behind as well.
So Michael Grimm, a historic game for him. It's his 50th career game. Gives away the foul. The senior midfielder from South Lake, Texas, so not super far from where he now plays his ball.
Hey, you foul 10 times, you get a yellow card. I mean, come on. How
Going
long
out
have you
wide.
played? You know it.
Justin Terranova, head coach there for Methodist, wanting a
10 fouls.
card. Of course, a notable alumni, Justin Terranova. Played national championship finalist back in his days at Methodist. There's a nice slide. Good work there from Elliot Miller.
Good strength there as well.
Come away with it, and that's going to be a foul. Clipped him. Just caught him there. Keegan Hardy going down. I believe he had an injury at the start of last season, did Keegan. That he was on that all-freshman team in his first year in 2021 for SCAC. Climbed Mount Kilimanjaro at the start of this year, so he's got that altitude training in him. Headed forward there. Pero, and that's going to be a yellow card to Pero.
No, and I think that right there is the right decision as well. He's late going in for that header. Makes a little bit too much of an aggressive push there.
Yeah, it wasn't really a ton of intent
Yeah,
on the ball, and that is a big factor for referees. If you're going for the ball and you're honestly trying to get the ball and you just like, yeah, you know, it's a physical game. People get close. These things happen.
No, but I think the ball was already gone by the time
100%.
he's in there for that, so right decision.
Yeah, yellow card there for Cooper Pero. He's bilingual, speaks Spanish. Also played golf in high school, which, I don't know, feels like a waste of his 6'3" talents, but, you know. That's going to be a foul, I think, going the other way, judging by the reaction. I didn't see a point, but that looks like what he's called.
Been a lot of fouls so far.
Yeah, it's been a physical game. Not in a bad way. Like, I don't think anyone's gone in to hurt anybody, but, you know.
No, I still think they're feeling each other out to some extent.
Yeah, and when that's happening, you can expect physical sort of stuff. And honestly, when it's this hot, games can get more physical just to kind of slow things down, get some fouls.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, you're a little bit gassed, you're a little bit late into a challenge, and that affects things. So I think that's got to play a part in this as well. Yeah,
agreed. These games are where your physical conditioning really shows up, especially where you'll notice it as we get later and later and later in the game. The bright side is it's also going to get cooler as the game goes on, but this is San Antonio, Texas. It ain't going to get that much cooler. The second game, it'll be dark, so we'll probably get a little bit of a reprieve. Shall we say Ragav Sharma on the ball. Some subs getting ready to come on for Methodist. Looks like we are going to have Nathan Mahuchik coming in and Miller Davis making their way on for the Monarchs. Southwestern played up the middle, but to nobody. Right to the Methodist man. Now good chance here on a bit of a counter. Great ball forward. Finds Stephen Floyd, puts it away. There's the opener. Stephen Floyd scores 6th goal of his collegiate career.
That's pretty unfortunate, in my opinion, for Southwestern. I think they had finally started to get a foothold into this game. We said it earlier. I think Methodist started the stronger, but Southwestern were starting to find their feet, give it away in midfield, and then a quick counterattack, one through ball, and they're in. Changes the game.
Yeah, those passes in midfield where you give it away, it seems so innocuous at the time, but you give them possession, you can't score when you don't have the ball.
Yep.
You've given them time as well because it was right to an open man with no one around him. He's got time to set something up. I'm going to sign Stephen Floyd scores. They have only ever lost one game when Stephen Floyd has scored for the Monarchs. He's got a 6-1-1 record when he scores. He played every single game last year as a freshman. So big moment. Stephen Floyd. You get the sense that there's more than one goal in this game?
I would definitely agree with that. I think there's more goals to come. I think both teams are going to get at least one more in this game. So,
Stephen Floyd was the leading goal scorer as a first year for the Monarchs last year as well. He was my player to watch for this one. But player to watch for Southwestern, by the way, because we didn't get to do our normal intro. Michael Grimm, senior midfielder. He was in the All-SCAC first team. Strong provider. He's a good penalty taker. He played NPSL for the Fort Worth Vaqueros. And he spent time in the spring with Sokol Hoston in Czechia. Not on a professional contract, obviously, but on loan on a bit of a trial there. Didn't play a ton. I think he played 2 games in the Czechian league.
The experience is helpful. Just playing at that level is something special.
Puts you in a different environment as well, which can really help you grow. As an immigrant to this country, moving somewhere else, it forces you to grow a lot. You got to try some things. You got to try new things. So, and I think we've already seen Grimm be involved a lot today. So, I'm really interested to see now how Southwestern adjusts. A goal down.
Yep.
We're going to see him here next week too. So, of course, their next match is against Hendricks, who play Trinity next. So, certain that they're going to be sticking around and watching that game as well to get a bit of insight into who they're playing on Sunday, 7 p.m. For Methodist, their next match right here at Paul McGinley Field. They're playing at 8 p.m. And you'll have us on the broadcast, so hopefully you'll enjoy that one. It'll be the second game, so we'll have a game under our belts as well. I'll follow up from the women's game on Sunday evening. Now, women's game is going to be exciting because it's a rematch of the NCAA first round. Hardin Simmons up against Trinity and the women on Sunday.
Looking forward to it. And tomorrow, they've got Occidental,
They
who
got Occidental.
knocked the men out, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Yeah, women's team not quite the same level as the men's team, as often happens. There's a good bit of play here from Methodist. I think as the game moves on, we're going to see Southwestern, they're going to have to open up a bit more. So,
yeah, and I think that bodes well for Methodist because we've seen that one opportunity when Southwestern opened up their midfield. Methodist were able to cut through them with a few passes. So,
yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a big opportunity for them. We got some substitutes getting ready. Caleb Mott getting ready to come up for the Monarchs. Really beautiful ball right to the feet. Great control there as well from Carson Stratz. Played forward for Floyd, the goal scorer. Heavy touch, though, there from Stratz. Players down. Referee's going to stop time. And we're going to have some substitutions. And so for Southwestern, player coming on is Amar Singh. And so that'll be a college debut for Amar Singh. Played with AC Houston Sir in USL League 2, common summer league here in the States. He captained his high school team, the Audi International School over there in Houston. 6-1 on a first year. Might still have some growing in him too. So.
Yeah, you like to see that.
Yeah, players taking a water break. I always said it's hot. It's real hot. Hot one. I did hear the referee was saying technically we don't have to take one because they do it. There's a test. It's a wet bulb test is what they call it. And technically we were 1 degree under the requirement. Doesn't mean they can't opt to have a drinks break. So that's what we're doing today. Hydration is super, super important, especially in a sport like soccer where you don't get natural breaks. Yep. Like it's not like baseball where you go back to the dugout every inning. You can have some water. You know, it's not like football where you're playing very intensely, but you're playing very intensely for a set series of plays and then somebody else comes in. Soccer, you're always on, you're always moving. And so
yeah, it can be really tough, especially, you know, as somebody who's got a lot of experience playing in the midfield for long periods of time. Your mouth can get dry. You start to feel some adverse effects. You're sweating a lot. You need that water. It's starting to tire out. Your muscles start to cramp. Breaks like that can really, really make a difference.
Yeah, it's the dry mouth, man. It's the worst.
And it always happens.
It always happens.
Always happens.
You're just dying for a drink. And you can only get one if you've got a merciful referee who lets you have a drink spray.
Sneak back to the goalie.
Or you sneak. Yeah, if you're in the back line, you can just kind of sneak back. If you're on the wings, you could come over to the sideline and grab a bottle.
You got to be on the right side, though.
Got to be on. Yeah, that's true. You got to be on the correct side. But for at least half a game, you will be. So there is that. Again, back pass that puts a lot of pressure on. Matthew Walker doing a good job with his distribution. He's been really good with his feet.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say so far Southwestern's biggest strength's got to be their physicality. They've pressed well. They've looked dangerous every time they've pressed. And then their set pieces have been really good as well. And that includes throw-ins. So this right here is definitely a dangerous opportunity for them.
Yeah, really strong throw. Keeper punches it. Missed control there. That's a frustrating moment there for Keegan Hardy. Bit of a lack of communication there. Goalkeeper's coming, might catch him out. Just goes wide, but that's where communication is so important. Goalkeeper was coming to get that. If he lets the goalkeeper come and claim it, shot never happens.
Yep. And that's something that I remember a lot from my high school coach. He'd always say, second ball. You know, when that ball, you loft in a through ball, and then it gets headed back into a dangerous area, you want to be the ones to pick it up as the defensive team. You let the offensive side pick it up there, and you give away a shot like that.
Yeah, it's a real frustrating moment. There's been a few of those little lapses defensively for Methodist where they've put themselves under more pressure than they should, and those have really Southwestern's best opportunities have come from those like back passes to the keeper, and then that moment there. That was a real big opportunity.
No, it makes you wonder if they were expecting this high press.
Yeah, it's a very high press. I don't think I was expecting it. Certainly not game one of the season. A high press takes a lot out of you.
No, and in this heat too.
You can already see there, Michael Grimm is looking positively pink from the heat and the sweat. Very physical, big shirt pull. So referee doesn't call it. I can see why he doesn't, because he's on the other side. So it's coming right to us, and we can see it. He's basically pulling his jersey off. But because the referee's positioning is what it is, and it's the right positioning, he doesn't see it. And so, and it's also the AR's on the other side. So,
but Grimm's done well there. He
has
didn't need
done
the
well.
foul in the end.
He was frustrated, but it ended up working out. That might, no, it does stay in. And so Southwestern do need to kind of build something here. They're not out of it. They haven't looked out of it despite being 1 goal down. But they haven't, most of the chances they've created, though, have been set pieces and from defensive mistakes from Methodist. So you'd like to see their creative juices get flowing a little bit and create something themselves. Substitutions coming in here.
Triple sub.
Yeah, for Methodist, though. Just the one. Cameron Lambert comes in, making his collegiate debut. First-year forward out of Virginia Beach. Was an all-district player in high school. For Southwestern, we've got Daniel Sartorio coming on for his collegiate debut. I think I saw Mark Marino. Can't have seen Mark Marino because he's a goalkeeper. So I'm definitely reading that number wrong. I think it's Ross Anderson, 15. Making his collegiate debut. First-year midfielder out of College Station in Texas. Of course, home of the Aggies.
Southwestern made 2 more attacking changes, I'd say. Colgrove coming off, he's been up top, and then Miller at the outside back also coming off. So 2 guys who have to do a bit more of the running in this high press system.
Yeah, it makes sense that you'd sub them off too, give them a longer half time. There's a little over 17 minutes to play here in the second half, so you're getting a little under 20 extra minutes. Half time means you're getting about half an hour of rest before you're coming back on again. And so remember, in NCAA you can interchange, but only in the second half. First half, once you're off, you're off. Can't come back on unless there's a head injury. So that's the big thing here if you're not familiar with NCAA rules. We also stopped the clock, but not in the first half for substitutions, unless the referee requests it. Second half, we had a rule change, so I'll bring that up when it comes up, but second half stoppages. There is a rule change for that. It's going to be a throw for Methodist just inside the Southwestern half.
Southwestern looks set to make 2 more substitutions. It makes a lot of sense to me. They probably are playing substitutions. Make sure that your guys in this high press are not losing too much energy early in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to wear players out like 40 minutes. You know, the first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes are so important in a game. I can't count how many games I've seen won after the 85th minute or goals scored after the 40th minute in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my freshman year here, Trinity losing and tying a lot of games with some late giveaways. So it's definitely important to make sure that you are stout on both sides of the ball from start to finish of the half.
And so players coming in here for Southwestern, we've got Towns Wallace, sophomore forward out of Lafayette, and Danny Vosserman making his collegiate debut, midfielder out of Houston. Towns Wallace actually transferred in last season from Metropolitan State University of Denver, D2 school. Never played there, though, so his career stats are all at Georgetown. So Methodist now working it out from the back here.
What a recovery.
That's really beautiful stuff. Oh, he's overrun it, though. Oh, the slide hasn't worked out. Just a lot of errors there from both teams. Lucas Nowlin, I thought, had overrun it, and he would have if the defender stood. Didn't stand up, and now it's created a corner for Southwestern. That's a good build-up. Player wants a sub. They're going to stop the clock. He's gone down. He's grabbing his leg. I'm not a doctor, so that's all I'm going to say about it. But he signaled over to the bench that he wanted to come off. Can't quite see who it is. I believe that is Marco Vlahos. Down, junior midfielder from Charleston, South Carolina. Played with the Charlotte Independence Academy side in ECNL. But he transferred out as well last season from Erskine College. As we have the staff coming on to have a look at him. I think we got some players warming up. We do. Quick warm-up. These are the difficult ones because you can tell he'd planned his subs out. And now he's got to make an extra one. Had Justin Terranova. I'm sure all the players are at least thankful for the break. Nobody wants to see somebody go off injured, though. So it's going to be a sudden change here. It's going to be Cortez Heading coming on. Grad student, forward. Fayetteville, North Carolina. So hometown lad for Methodist. Starting his NBA this year, so he graduated from Guildford last year, completed his undergrad, moved to Methodist where he's doing his postgrad, and of course, because he's played during the COVID season, he's got an extra year. Here comes the corner. Southwestern goes near post this time. Goes just too near post with a header. It's out for a goal kick. Decent play, though.
Yeah, it's dangerous again. Grimm has been really good from these set pieces early on. All the balls just put in a good place. Really, really good for his teammates to go and attack it.
Yeah, he does have 10 assists in his career. Half of those came last year. So any year you can get 5 assists is a pretty great year for a midfielder.
Yeah, and a deep-lying midfielder such as he's playing.
Yeah,
right
holding
now.
mid. Plays for the Vaqueros in the NPSL. He's been in the All-SCAC first team the last 2 seasons, so not for nothing.
No, quite a player. I can already tell. Just about 30 minutes into this one.
Yeah, 30 minutes in. 1-0 still for the Monarchs. Nice attempted turn there. Towns Wallace. Doesn't get the turn, but does keep possession. That counts for something. He does have speed. He's a quick player. He's got a lot of experience, does Towns Wallace. For a sophomore, he played for Borussia Dresden in Germany. He's trialed with San Andrew in Spain and trialed for Empoli, which might be a club you've heard of, in Italy.
I have heard of Empoli, yeah.
So he's had a lot of experience. I think he's got a good career ahead of him. Just his second year. Headed on again, off the post! Back when I was playing and missed those ones as a goalkeeper, my bench would yell out to me, well left. In the end, it worked out, but heart and mouth stuff there for the Monarchs. Again, a set piece.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was what was meant to be done from that header. I think it was a flicked header. He's looking for the back post, but if it goes in, he's not going to complain.
Yeah, 100%. If that goes in, he's running off claiming it as
absolutely.
That's what I meant to do.
No, he'll tell his teammates in the halftime huddle that he didn't mean it, but
yeah, if you talk to him after the game, he'll be like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." It was absolutely a shot. But I agree with you. He was definitely trying to flick that on.
Yeah, and we've seen that from them early on. They're trying to flick that near post header onto the back post.
Great ball for Nowlin. Needs some support. He doesn't have it, so he's going himself. Oh. Ooh, just wide. I was about to say that I thought he took too many touches.
Yeah, and he was clearly left-footed there. He didn't want – I think he could have taken the shot on early to the far post with his right foot, but he tries to cut back across goal. Sometimes that's putting you back into defenders, so it's tough, but he gets the shot off, and nearly.
Yeah, just got a little too around the ball.
Yep.
To your point that he's left-footed. He was definitely working an angle for the left foot so he could come around the ball. Maybe he didn't take enough touches and he needed to be a little further. But decent effort there from Nowlin. He does have one goal, scored a goal. Sophomore forward from Baytown, Texas. Was in the All-SCAC first-year team last year. He did play football as well in high school over at Barbers Hill.
I think Methodist are starting to find their way back into Southwestern. I'm getting confused with the colors. Southwestern are starting to find their way back into the game since that goal. At this point, I'd say they've had most of the attack for the past 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, certainly since the goal.
Yeah.
Which is good. You often see teams drop when they concede. Like, you can see teams go from 1-0 to 2-0 very quickly. Not happening here.
Especially with the way they gave up the goal, with that giveaway in midfield and then a quick turnaround on the counter.
It's going to be a throw for Southwestern in their own half. Pinto to take it. Goes up the wing. Looking for that man. Towns Wallace. Methodist get the ball back. The interesting thing for Southwestern has been when they're not in possession, they're really swarming the ball carrier lately. It's much more of a man mark than a zonal marking that they've been doing, especially up front, especially with the high press.
Yeah. No, they're putting them under pressure every time the ball goes backwards, and it's causing a lot of problems right now for that back line.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting to be put under this much pressure. About 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Still 1-0 for the Monarchs. Chris Hockman and Scott Lebo with you for Tiger Network. Stick around. We're going to have Trinity versus Hendricks next. First ever meeting between those two sides. These two teams, they have played twice before. Series is split. This is the first time they're playing on neutral ground, so it's going to be the complete, going to have the whole cycle done after this.
It's the decider.
This is going to clinch the 3-game series. Good throw in. They've got a good long throw, although it looks like they're shaping to go short. No, just a decoy run. Goes in right onto the spot. No one there, though. You can't let those bounce. Deflected by the big man at the back. Miller Davis, 6'3". Don't think he knew much about it.
No, but that's a dangerous one. If it slips through, goalkeepers, he can't see where that ball is, so he's probably getting, hard to see the ball, trying to figure out where it's going if it sneaks through.
Yeah, those are always dangerous. You get that second ball in. We talk a lot about the second ball. So important to be the team that reacts to those second balls. I had a coach that said, I don't really care about the kickoff because I'm just the first team to lose possession. So second balls. Although we've seen the kickoff these days be so much more important in football.
Yeah, a lot more kickoff plays, playing it long right from the kickoff.
People using a kickoff as a set piece.
No, it's interesting. I like it.
He was offside anyway, but that was a really interesting play. Swung in, trying to find Alessandro Sosa.
No, and at Southwestern, they're continuing to put the pressure on. And I think maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, you would have been asking if Southwestern wanted to make some changes tactically at halftime. But now I think you got to ask the opposite way. Methodist has struggled the last 10, 15 minutes with this high press. I wonder if they're going to make some changes at half.
Yeah, the defense just hasn't dealt really well. We've seen a few times today Matthew Walker put under pressure.
Mm-hmm. No, and I think it's really unfortunate for them because the way they want to play is passing and building up from the back. And so far they've struggled to be able to do it.
Yeah, they really have. They've been really cut off because of that high press. You know, it's hard to scout the first games of the season, right? Because there's so much turnover. You've got a lot of first years, you know. Southwestern have 12 first-year players.
Yeah,
on their
overheard their coach talking before the game saying that they have so many young players. He's like, it caught up on me all of a sudden. I was like, wait, where'd all our veterans go? There were only 4 seniors in that starting lineup for them.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens to every college. Like, it's just part of the game. You've got 4 years, or some people have 5 years because they played during COVID and they choose to stick around. It's a hard choice in D3 because there's no scholarships, and many of these schools are not cheap to be at, shall we say. So, but you do have players, and then you have players, you know, I think you see in D3 that you don't see in other schools, is a player like Cortez Herring with Methodist who has moved schools to do his post-grad education, but because he played during COVID, he gets his 5th year, so he may as well play.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how he works out for the Monarchs. So the ball is flicked on. Or in the case of an injury in a red shirt, you might even get a 6th year, which we might talk about later tonight. Someone on Trinity is playing their 6th season for the Tigers. Of course, one of those seasons they only played 3 games. But 6th season because they had COVID and they had a red shirt season.
Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to say in case.
Yeah,
I'm
we can't.
Well, you got to spoil it.
That's called the tease in the biz.
Oh, yeah.
So now Methodist with a chance here. I will say Southwestern defensively have stood up as well. We've been talking a lot about how they're playing a high press, and that makes it sound like their defense isn't doing anything. I think the problem in the early stages, and the reason we saw Methodist start so well, was the defense just seemed a little flat-footed, didn't seem to react quick enough.
Yeah.
Come a lot more into the game.
No, and I think that high press has kind of set the standard for the rest of the team. The defense has had time to settle into it now, catch their footing. It is the first of the season.
Pinto goes wide. Switch, but a switch to no one, and we've already seen that kind of play result in a goal against Southwestern, so they've got to be careful.
I think that was a risky ball into him there. He didn't. I don't know if he necessarily wanted to deal with it. Almost dealt with the tackle there, and I don't know if he was trying to necessarily switch it to anyone in particular or just get it out.
Yeah, I will say that if we look at the flags, the breeze is kind of blowing left to right on the pitch, so from the left wing to the right wing. So that might have held up in the air, and that might have been why it stayed a bit flatter than he intended. But either way, I still don't think the switch was the right move. Ball going long, looking for Pinto. I think it's going to hold up. Big appeal for a handball. There's an argument for it, but handball's the only foul where intent matters.
Yep, and I think in that case that his hand's pinned to his body.
It's pinned close enough. It goes out for a throw to Southwestern anyway.
Yeah.
So, honestly...
this is a set piece for them anyway.
With the way Southwestern does a throw, this is a set piece. Lucas Nowlin coming over to take it, throws it flat for Pinto. Very strong, Pinto. He's been strong all day. Back out to Nowlin. Far post. Headed, but he hasn't got around it enough. Keeper comes and dives on it. Keeping it 1-0. We got a little over 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Methodist 1, Southwestern 0. Good chance here for Methodist to clear. Slowing the game down just enough. Southwestern complaining for time. You got 6 seconds. That would be a very fast 6-second count, if you ask me.
No, but I do think Methodist want the halftime whistle to come at this point.
100%.
They want to get a break, try and regroup at halftime and figure out what's been going wrong the last 10, 15 and figure out how to get it going right again because they started really strong.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal start. Those first 20 minutes, it's really been, the first half has been, if you pardon the cliche, a game of 2 halves. Good ball when he's about to lose out on possession, just didn't come off. Was looking there for Cortez Herring. Just couldn't find him, and now a good chance here for Southwestern. Marino gets the throw. The sophomore midfielder from Miami played in MLS Next, which meant he wasn't allowed to play high school soccer, because that is a rule in MLS Next. You have to play MLS soccer. He did play for sort of a small, he was at a small Catholic school, so I don't think he missed much.
I don't know. I come from a small high school. It's fun to play there.
Just wide on that shot. I do think Walker had it covered, though.
Yeah,
really.
I do think so as well. He got down well.
Really good presence of mind to know where your post is. I've been watching the Paralympics. I've been watching goal ball. And a lot of people in the Paralympics haven't known where the goal is. Although they are blind, so that is an excuse.
That makes sense.
Although you should know where your goal is. There's been a few goals we've seen where they've had to kick back because they missed where the goal was. Good flick over the top. That's a beautiful ball that finds Souza. I think he might have fallen on the ball there. I think he tripped on his own feet, is my opinion. That's a yellow card.
I think I've got a little closer angle. I thought he kicked it down the line and trying to chase it, got caught up a little bit, but I do think, from what I saw, I do think that would be a right decision for a yellow card. He's stopping a promising attack right when he's getting down the wing like that, and they had numbers in the middle.
Yeah, definitely if there's a foul, yellow card, because he's stopping a promising attack.
Yep.
Not a red, because it's not denying a goal-scoring opportunity.
Definitely not a red, yeah.
But it's kind of what we talk about, a professional foul.
Yep.
So, yellow card there for Jace Gleason, senior defender out of Louisville. Plays for Louisville City, has played for the Louisville City Academy as well. His dad played soccer at the University of Illinois Springfield. His twin brother Wesley, which is a very appropriate name for someone at Methodist, also plays on the team. So now Southwestern, we've talked a lot about their set pieces being good. That wasn't one of them. Cleared away. Keeper's calm. Got to get there, and he does. Matthew was done well. I think at times sold out a little bit by his defense.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. He's been put into tough positions, and then at other times his defense have dealt with balls that he probably would have wanted to come for himself.
Yeah, and then that one's hard to say. Is that him not communicating? Oh, he's caught him there. He is going to go back and call the foul after the ball went backwards. For me, that comes under the reckless definition of a yellow card.
I think I'd have to agree with that. I was assuming when he goes for the advantage there that if he pulled it back, it was going to be a yellow card because that one looked like a cruncher.
Yeah, it got him in the ribs basically. Not quite the Wimbledon kung fu kick by any means, but definitely got him in the ribs. Good opportunity here though for Methodist. Controlled just off his hand. It has given it. Yeah, when it falls to your advantage like that, his arm was well out in front of him. Not a ton of intent, but these days, you stick your arm out as far as he did. That's a handball every day.
Especially in the attacking third. I don't think the ref's going to let you get away with that.
Yeah, if you do that in your defensive end and you're desperate, as long as it's not in the box, you might get away with it. Another appeal for handball. That one feels a little rough to me.
Yeah.
It came from behind. You can't have much intent when it's... I've seen them given. I saw a call years ago in the A-League in Australia where a striker deliberately kicked it into a running defender's hand and the referee gave the penalty, which was mind-blowing. So here we go. This is set up as a cross from about a yard off the halfway stripe. I think, again, the wind's got that.
Yeah. Yeah, just didn't have the strength.
Oh, he's crunched him. I did not see what that was. I think that was bodies just coming together for me.
Yeah, and that happens a lot on set pieces, but I think the referee's got a much better view of it
Much
than
better
us,
view than we do.
so
He's
I'm not sure.
right there. I'm looking through a player. It's, I'm going to side with the referee pretty much every time, to be honest with you. So big free kick opportunity here for Southwestern. This is their first genuine direct free kick chance. 90 seconds to go in the half. 1-0 Monarchs.
They've been good for set pieces so far, but this is a very different type of set piece. You're going to shoot direct here, I'm assuming. Everything so far, they've been trying to whip it in. It's very different.
Yeah, one would assume they're going direct here. Matthew Walker setting up the wall. Can't quite see who's standing over it because, of course, his number faces the opposite way to us. No sympathy for the guys on the broadcast every time. Yeah, I can't quite tell. We'll find out. It might be.
I think it's Carson Stretz.
I think it's Stretz as well.
Go down towards your keeper. Follow up.
He's got to be no less than 10 yards outside the box from
Yeah,
there.
this is about 25 yards out. Right into the wall, though. Goes for the follow-up. We've talked about second balls a lot.
No, the follow-up was more dangerous than the set
Follow-up
piece on
was
that
more
occasion.
dangerous than the set piece. It's almost like a short corner. You open up a different angle for yourself.
Yeah.
Throw in here again. It's basically a set piece for Southwestern. Ball goes in, flicked on. Keeper spilled it, and it's tapped home for the Pirates. I believe that's Keegan Hardy with the goal.
Yeah, a lot of chaos in there. Stretz was in there as well. In the end, again, it's the set piece comes in, and they're trying to flick the header back into a dangerous area. Methodist is set up to defend that original ball in, but once Southwestern is able to win that first header, put it into a different area, they're the ones that are ready for it. They crash the goal, comes back off the keeper. There's some chaos in front, and in the end, it's put in the back of the net.
They're so dangerous. If you can't get that first ball.
No, and I think that's part of what has been so dangerous about their set pieces today is that they win the first ball so consistently. And they're not shooting with that first win. They're crossing it further into a better area, and Methodist aren't set up to defend yet.
And so the goal was scored by Danny Wasserman. So he scores a goal on debut. What a way to start your collegiate career. Danny Wasserman, congratulations. First collegiate goal. We're in the last minute here, 1-1. We've talked about those last 5 minutes of a half being so vital. That's a corner.
I think that's no less than what Southwestern deserved for this first half, though. They've really turned it around in the last 10, 15 of this half, and set pieces have been really good. And in the end, that's where it comes from, a great throw-in.
Yeah, really great stuff there from Southwestern. Big opportunity. This is my least favorite corner on Paul McGinley Field because you've got to come down the hill under the tree. Really difficult corner. We'll see how they deal with it. Which is part of why that's a bit flat because you come in off balance.
After you said that, I'm watching his run-up, and he has to go down the hill just before he's about to strike the ball. That's a tough way to do it.
Yeah, it's intentional, I should point out. Shot from distance off the post. And goes wide, but my word, that is clock management.
Yeah, he had Walker worried. Walker's trying to scramble to that near post, trying to get there.
Should be clear, in soccer it's not like basketball. If the shot goes up and doesn't cross the line before the horn, it doesn't count. It's not basketball. It's not a buzzer beater. I think that would have gone in before
I agree.
Time ran out.
Yeah, it's also not a pro game where they're probably going to add some
Where
extra
we'll just be
time
like,
in that situation and let it
exactly.
go. They kind of make up however much time they want to play for those.
Yeah,
last
that's
few
the big
minutes.
thing. So halftime here, Southwestern 1, Methodist 1. Been an absolute barnstormer of a game. I've really enjoyed this first half. We'll be back in 10-ish minutes to get you started for the second half. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks very much. Welcome back. We're about 90 seconds away from the second half here. Southwestern 1, Methodist Monarchs 1. Pretty fair reflection of the game.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think the first half of the first half was all Methodist, and they were building pretty well. And then Southwestern really found their footing with their high press and built something on that with set pieces as well, and got their goal late to get a deserved draw at halftime.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how both teams come out for the second half. You can see the shadows growing now. That mulberry tree at the end of Mulberry Street getting a bit bigger in the shadows. It's Chris Hockman and Scott Lebo with you for Tiger Network. Of course, opening game of the season for both teams here. Southwestern, they're going to play Hendricks, who we're going to see next. They're going to play them in Georgetown on Sunday. For Methodist, they are going to play Trinity here on Sunday. So there's the buzzer. We are ready. About to get ready for the second half. Of course, teams change ends. Southwestern in the all yellow. They're going to be going from right to left on your screen in the second half. Methodist in the all green. They're going to go from left to right in the second half. Should be an interesting second half. It'll be interesting to see if things get a bit more open, if the players can get a bit more energy. It does feel noticeably cooler.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
I think that 15 minutes really changed the environment that this game is being played on, which is really interesting. If anything, I'd say it's going to play a benefit to Southwestern because their press is going to just have that bit more energy in it.
Yeah, Southwestern's press has been really aggressive, and it really worked in that second half. We were talking about it earlier. Their second half of the first half, so the second quarter, was real good. Got him the goal.
The water break split it in half. Since the water break, they were pretty good.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That water gave them the energy they needed. Admittedly, the goal was towards the end. I think, what was it, 90 seconds left in the first half when they scored the when they scored the goal. Great goal too, really well taken. So your goal scorer Stephen Floyd scored for Methodist fairly early. Really well taken goal after a counter-attack as we get underway for the second half. Your goal for Southwestern was the first collegiate goal, was for Danny Wasserman on debut, the first-year player. Southwestern starting with possession, throw over the top, doesn't find anybody, although pressure comes. Really puts him under pressure and wins a corner that he had no right winning. That should have been dealt with by Methodist.
No, but that energy is so important there, and to win a corner, they've been great from set pieces. That's an incredible effort there.
Yeah, they've been really, really strong from the set pieces. Have Southwestern. Of course, right as I say that, not so much. But, you know, in general, they've been really good on set pieces.
They've had a lot of them as well.
They have had a lot of them. That's their third corner of the night. Methodist haven't had a single corner. Statistically, shot-wise, though, they're pretty even. 2 shots on target. I think Southwestern are probably leading the shots in total. They've had a few that went just wide. One off the post as well that maybe wasn't intended to be a shot, but statistically it'll count. There's that second ball again. Won really well there by Michael Grimm, who's been really active.
Yeah, he's been the player for me to watch in this game so far. He's just been commanding the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a landmark game for him. He's playing his 50th career game. Referee tries to get out of the way of the ball, and it was just a magnet for him. Did well to run out of the way. Beautiful touch there from Josh Motts. Good control, plays it back. That's beautiful football there from the Monarchs. Good pass back from Ryan Rivera.
And already they seem a little bit more comfortable passing the ball at the back, a little bit more sound back there. Could play a big part in this second half.
Which was something you pointed out right before we went to the half, was that they might have to get a bit more comfortable with that, a bit more comfortable with the high press. Good switch here. That's going to find Ryan Rivera. Good control here. He is an aggressive player, but he does tend to avoid getting carded, which is impressive. They gave him way too much space there, did Southwestern. Good touch. Can he get through? Just can't do it. He's kept the ball, though. Goes out wide, but clearly offside. I can tell that from here with a terrible angle.
But it was dangerous there. They could not get the ball cleared. Southwestern, they won it, stayed in that box way too long for their liking. In the end, I'd say they probably get lucky with that offsides.
Yeah, that's a bit lazy, I think. You know, you're not watching. There's no excuse to be offside there. You're looking up the line.
Oh, yeah.
And so you should see that. That was Stephen Floyd, though, with the ball and with the pass there out wide. Had a good chance. He's the goal scorer. Coming forward now is Motts. He's got support, but I think he's going to go himself and look for support in the middle because you do have Floyd in there. Ball comes back for Rivera. Rivera across to Broom.
Both teams starting with a lot of energy so far. They want it. They both want it really bad.
Yeah, I think the next goal is going to be crucial. You get that lead here. You can play a little differently in the second half. Especially in the second half, you get the interchange. You can bring players off and on as much as you want. You can really play a lot more tactically in the second half than the first.
Yeah. I looking back, though, on that first half, I do think the fact that Methodist scored the first goal actually hurt them because I think they settled into their lead a little bit, sat back too much, lost some of the aggression they had early on, and in the end, it allowed Southwestern back into the game.
Yeah, which I don't think was at all how they were set up by Justin Terranova. I don't think that's what he meant to do, but it's certainly what the players did. He's, of course, an alumni of the Monarchs, played in a national final with the Monarchs, I think 1999? I won't tell people what I was doing in 1999.
National runner-up in 95.
95? I really won't tell people what I was doing in 95. I was in like 3rd grade, I think, in 95.
I was 9 years before my time.
The ball goes out long. Had it down. Good chance here for the Methodists to build up the Monarchs. Ball wide from Garrett. Panos. Now working on it. Atwell. Atwell goes back to Manzano. Manzano with a long ball forward. There's that man out there in Angel Arcon. He was the man that was offside earlier. Stayed onside that time. Now good chance here for Southwestern. It's Cipello going forward. Just slid in for the ball. Pinto's trying to get on the end of it but can't. Now Methodist with a chance to build something up. There's that passing around the back. Really good ball. Finds Mott. Looking back for Mott. Doesn't quite come off. Really beautiful touch there from Amar Singh to keep that in play. Cut it back for his midfielder, and now Southwestern can regroup at the back.
What a start to the second half. Both teams have a lot of energy. It's back and forth, up and down the field. Not a lot of clear-cut chances so far, but a lot of back and forth, good possession, good build-up play.
Which I feel is pretty similar to how the first half started. It's just we got that goal about, 13 minutes in?
Yeah, I do think the heat slowed it down a little bit, and there were a lot of fouls in that first 10, 15 minutes. But so far, this second half, I'm enthralled.
Pinto using his height there, gets the shot away. Well saved by Matthew Walker. He's been good. Got a really good presence of where his posts are, so he knows how to cover his goal well. Took a good bit of work to beat him, and it was on sort of that second, third clean-up ball. Tapped home off a rebound. You know, not much the goalkeeper could have done on the goal, honestly.
He got put in a tough position there, and I honestly, I don't blame him on that one.
It's a bit of a mistake from him, though. We're talking him up. Gives up possession, though.
Speaking of those set pieces, though, I wonder if Methodist is going to have an adjustment for the fact that Southwestern kept flicking on that first ball in the first half, if they're going to have a plan on how to deal with that in the second half, if they discussed it at halftime.
Yeah, it was really dangerous. We almost saw one go into the net, came off the post. It's a good header forward, but I don't think Pinto's going to have the legs to get it. Cleared away, and they keep the ball. Maybe should have left that, but Garrett Panos, good ball forward, keeps possession. And so it's going to be a throw here for Rivera. Up the line. Just over the head. Goes to Singh. Goes to ground. That's Pinto.
Good hold-up play.
Yeah, really good work. A good choice to pass it back. Not tempted to take the turn there. Instead, setting it up for Gunther. And now they'll build something up. Ball goes in. Just can't find the man. Headed away. Controlled by Colgrove. Beautiful work from Colgrove. Got support out there left. Good sliding challenge, though. Stops that going through. And now a chance to get forward. It's Alarcon. Alarcon forward for Floyd, the goal scorer. Good defensive work there from Colgrove. But Methodist still on the ball. Just not enough on that. Puts it into a contest. But Methodist will keep it. Beautiful turn from Mott. Mott to Floyd. There's a call of hit it from the bench. Shot from Caleb Thomas. Probably held onto it just a little long. Man's down in back play is Josh Mott.
Yeah, I think he got clipped a little bit when he made that flick pass right at the end of his, what was a brilliant run by him, but seems okay now.
Yeah, he's up. He's a little tender, though. Good control there from Rivera. Player was coming, forced the shot early. Keeper had it for a minute there. For a minute, I thought that was going up. The wind is blowing in from behind that goal now, and I think that held it up.
I think I'd have to agree with that. Keeper had good positioning as well. I don't think he would have been very pleased with himself if he'd been lobbed from that distance, so good positioning from him.
Yeah, I mean, as a goalkeeper, you're always embarrassed when you're lobbed.
Yeah.
Sent forward there from Raghav Sharma. Headed down. They just got to get control on the deck to the Pirates. They can't. And Methodist now. Foul against the Monarchs. Southwestern will have a free kick here to relieve that pressure. Decent little passage there for the Monarchs. About 10 minutes gone in the second half. Still 1-1 here.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed so far in this second half, we talked about early on that Southwestern were relying a lot on that high press and the set pieces, and they didn't have a lot of possession necessarily. So far in the second half, they have had a few spells where they've had possession, but they haven't looked comfortable in possession. They haven't tried to play, short passes and build something up slowly. It's been a lot of long balls over the top trying to be direct. I don't think that they're necessarily, their game plan is to play a tiki-taka brand of the game and try and build up like that. I do think they want to go long consistently.
Yeah, it's definitely what they're trying to do. I mean, when you've got a forward as tall as Pinto, he's 6'3".
He's a presence up there.
Yeah, he really is. He played football in high school. Should say his mum played soccer at SMU, which you might know as the only Texas school to win the men's Division I NCAA championship. Under the tutelage of former San Antonio FC coach, the late Tim Hankinson. Which obviously meant a lot to us here in San Antonio. Tim taught me a lot about the game. Miss him dearly. But yeah, did the impossible. Won a Division I men's soccer championship in Texas. Long, long time ago. But they have a good women's team too. Really tight stuff here. We've got Caleb Mott coming in for the Monarchs. His brother Josh is also on the team. Said Josh's name a lot, actually, to start this second half. So the Mott brothers might be in, or if they're merciful to commentators, they'll sub them off for each other, so I could just say Mott. Big argument over a defensive throw-in. My word. A lot of touches there from Amar Singh. A lot of minutes for Amar Singh as a first year.
Yeah.
Again, the pressure on the keeper that time. Deals well with it. Beautiful ball. Finds his man. Not a great flicked on header there from Alicorn. Alicorn's been really involved here on the right to start the second half. It's a name I've said a lot. Flicked on again. Pirates just trying to get control. Take it in. Raghav Sharma goes out wide for Otten.
Notice this huge gap in the midfield for Southwestern. They don't have a lot of guys. Now that I say it, they're starting to drift in there. But that gap between the defense and the attack is huge at points.
Yeah, and you've really got to shorten up that gap because that's how you can move the ball through.
Yeah. But I do think it speaks to the fact that they want to play that long ball. They want to play direct.
Yeah, I think we're seeing more and more evidence of that, which means their first half went against how the style they want to play, right? And so pretty impressive. They kept it level. They went in. Of course, Southwestern went down in the SCAC semifinal. They lost to Trinity, actually, 3-0. Ball goes long. Looking to find Sipelu. It's going to go out. I think that's going to be a throw. No, corner.
It doesn't matter. It's a set piece
It's
for
a
them
set piece
either way.
for Southwestern either way. Although it is easier to be a set piece when it's a corner.
That's
So
true. And Grimm has been
Grimm is
sensational on these set pieces, these corners
unbeatable.
specifically.
And they're doing my favorite thing on a corner, which is where you just put someone right in front of the keeper to annoy the hell out of him. But foul is going to give that away. Silly stuff from Southwestern. It's wasted, really.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a decent ball to the back post, but I don't know that Southwestern were set up correctly for that one. You know, I think they've had some really good set pieces, and part of that is knowing and anticipating where the ball is going to be, and I don't think they did it on that occasion.
Yeah, I think they set up for a different thing than Grimm had in his mind. Well, Michael Grimm's got a younger brother, Anderson. He's playing at the FC Dallas Academy. Might see him in the yellow of Southwestern later. Might see him in the red and white hoops of FC Dallas. Up there in Frisco. And so we go forward, up the wing now. Good chance here for the Pirates to build something up. Clipped him. That's going to be a foul. Pretty quick clip.
Yeah.
Not a ton of intent. Was trying to run, trying to go through and get the ball probably just on his stride, honestly. Just clipped him.
No, but it's well done by him there to get his body in between him, the ball and the defender. It draws a lot of fouls if you're able to do that.
Yeah, it's so important. You protect the ball. You're either going to keep possession or you're going to give away a foul. That's what happened there. Poor Caleb Mott's been standing here for a good while. Waiting, come on, you can only sub on your possession or when the other team subs on their possession. So, see for a while, getting some instructions. Set piece opportunity here. We've talked a lot about how dangerous they've been. So we'll see it. It's definitely going to be a ball into the box. Way too far to have a shot. Does the step over, doesn't fool anybody. Swings it in probably a little near post. Whistle goes. It's the second set piece in a row where just some shoving's given up the ball.
Yeah, and I wonder if the referee's paying a little bit more attention to that in this second half after how dominant they were on set pieces in the first half. Maybe there was a little discussion between them. They were noticing something, and they wanted to make an adjustment at halftime.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Dustin Norman, the coach of the Pirates, to be giving away these great opportunities with a foul. There's no need for it.
No, and that was a great ball in as well. It came nearly finished off in the end, but it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, it's better that he calls it early rather than it goes in the back of the net, and then you've got to uncall it. Dustin Norman in his 7th season with the Pirates, 54 wins for him. It's his first head coach position. He played at Maryville College. And so now we're going to get the sub. Caleb Mott finally gets to come on.
Southwestern making 3 subs of their own as well. And I think it's a little earlier than they made their subs in the first half.
Yeah, I think you get a bit more freedom in the second half because you can bring players off and on. You can sub a bit earlier. Obviously, when you start the match, you can't sub back in the first half. And you're probably a little more worn down in the second half because you've already played half. 15 minutes isn't that long a time to recover. We talked about it, though. Southwestern made some early subs in the first half to give them a longer halftime. Oh, he left it thinking it was his possession, but it's gone to Methodist. So that's a big tactical mistake there from the Pirates. Ryan Rivera with the throw for the Monarchs. Goes down the line. Yeah, I don't know if going down the line's the right move there. They get position back, but the height advantage was with Southwestern. I think they should have gone back and in the middle where there wasn't as much coverage. But anyway, there's Pinto. Ball going forward. Sipelu. It's controlled by Satorio, one of those subs that just came in. It's a throw for Methodist. I will say, Southwestern have the height advantage almost everywhere, honestly.
Yeah, and it makes sense that they've been doing so well on set pieces when you think about that. It's just, and I think besides height, too, they look just physically stronger. I think from the first whistle almost, the Monarchs have been more of a technical, tactical team trying to build it up slowly, while I think Southwestern have been really physically dominating the game.
Yeah, they've been really strong. We've seen that with a lot of things. Pinto will hold off a defender and pass it back. Kind of the throwback that probably no one's going to remember except for me. Mark Viduka, when he played for Leeds, would play that role. Those lone strikers that are strong and stocky play that sort of role where they hold it up and pass it back. Not used as much these days.
No, but I think like a guy like Harry Kane might be a modern name that more people would know. Like, he likes to come back into midfield and play that way as well.
Yeah, Harry Kane, great example of that style. Those players that hold it up. Hold it up, you play it back for the people, you get players running onto it.
Yeah, and you draw a defender with you, which opens up so much space for second runs from an attacking midfielder or a winger cutting across.
Yeah, that's what you add. It's all about numbers, really, a lot of things. And if you can create space for players to rush into, it's going to be a big advantage.
No, I've been saying this a lot recently. The further you get into the game, from high school and to college and beyond, the more it starts to become a chess match.
Yeah, because the games are a lot tighter. Like, there's a lot less of a skill discrepancy in games. We'll see that. Like, we're seeing that today, right? These two teams are very evenly matched.
But they're playing very differently.
Yeah, two different styles, which is really fun to watch.
But I think Pinto is a perfect example of knowing how to use your players to the best of their abilities to get the most out of them.
Thrown forward. Pinto can't be offside because it's a throw-in. Uses that to his advantage. That ball has not stayed in. It's a goal kick. Really good work there from Methodist.
Yeah. Pinto turned really well there. I think it was great use of his body again there, but the slide tackle in the end must have gotten a touch off of him for that goal kick. Well defended.
Two subs in for the Pirates. We got Lucas Nowlin coming in and Towns Wallace.
And it is Pinto coming off.
Yeah, I suspect this is only going to be a momentary sub, and we'll see him back on. Towns Wallace, a different kind of striker, number 10. Where's number 10? Doesn't play number 10. More a winger. Comes in out wide. He's a very diverse player. Can play a lot of positions. He's very quick. Good with the ball at his feet.
No, and it's very good when you can play a diverse type of player and you can switch it up and keep the defense on their toes. You start to settle in, what Pinto's going to do, and then you change it up and you get a different type of player in there.
I think the other thing we're going to notice as well with that change, those two players that came in can both play that position, can both play that lone man up front. Towns Wallace, Lucas Nellen can both play up front, can both play on the wing, and so that'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah, it's similar to what Methodist have been doing with Motts and Floyd, switching back and forth, both of them playing up, both of them playing deep, allowing the wingers to come in. You can play a diverse way when you have two guys up there that can play both roles.
Makes it harder to defend as well because you've got to keep an eye on who your number is. Nowlin was in the All-SCAC freshman team last year as well. He's in his second season. Played 13 games. They were all off the bench. So making that freshman team off the bench, playing every single game off the bench, no starts, pretty impressive. Did run track in high school, so that's where he gets his speed from. Believe the same is true for Towns. Nah, he just played wing. Just really, really quick winger. Bit of a confused substitution there. Players with the wires crossed. So it's going to be Casey Atwell coming off, not Caleb Thomas. I could see that. They're on the other side of the field. I could see Caleb getting confusing from that far away.
Definitely.
Especially where the cicadas are going tonight. Flicked on. That's a flick on it. That was an acrobatic save for the highlight reel that did not need to be that acrobatic.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it didn't even look like it was going on target, but we don't have the best angle from here, so can't be 100% certain. But he's made the save, and in the end, that's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, that's going on the sizzle reel. That's what that's going on. You always got to be thinking about your next gig in soccer, even in college, you've got to be thinking, oh, it'd be nice to play, USL League One.
Oh, you always want to keep playing. It's the best game in the world.
Great ball. There's that speed we were talking about, but he's offside. Shot goes wide. But that's that speed from Towns Wallace.
It's a great ball as well. Just putting it right where only he can get to it. It's unlucky in the end.
He missed the shot anyway, so offside didn't cost the goal. But what a ball through. That's that speed. That is a danger sign for Methodist. I think the challenge with when that happens is now you've told them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I think they were, got comfortable with a player up front in Pinto who wants to come back with the ball, and now all of a sudden you've got a guy who wants to play in behind. It's a very different way to play at center back. Having played center back, it's hard to keep track of who's playing what style, and, especially if wingers and attacking midfielders are going to rotate in.
Referee playing advantage. Pass is a little short. Throw will go to Southwestern in front of us. This might be a yellow card. Or he's just going to have words. Just going to have words. I think it's the right decision. Did kind of make some contact with the head. But, preseason. A non-conference game.
Early.
Non-conference game. You're probably not going to pull the yellow for that. But maybe you should. That way when you get to the real stuff, you're ready for it. Ball goes long.
No, but there is some type of yellow card suspension, isn't there?
There is an
that
accumulation. No. Accumulation suspensions do apply. They get a little more strict.
Gotcha.
In conference. Basically, you can't hit enough cards pre-conference play to get suspended unless you got a yellow in every single game. Ball goes back now. Just working it comfortably. Very different. Pressure again on Matthew Walker.
Yeah, and that time it forces a stray pass. Southwestern are picking it up on that ball from Walker.
I am wondering if it is still a Walker in goal, because that might be maybe a bit of foul. He's going to go back for it at the very least. Big free kick opportunity here.
And it's well done. Good footwork in there. He draws the foul. Just a last-second cut as the defender's lunging in for the ball. It's a good set-piece opportunity.
That's the importance of that footwork, is you can really draw someone in because they think they know where the ball is. You move it with some swift work with your feet, and they get your foot instead of your ball.
Great quick feet in there. 2 defenders, maybe even 3 on him if I'm remembering quickly. Now it's a good set-piece opportunity for Grimm.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Michael Grimm over it. Does look like we also have Marino. Well, I thought he was going to stop, but he's kept walking, so never mind me. 21-ish minutes to go here in the second half. It's 1-1 between Southwestern and Methodist. Chris Hockman.
If they want
Scott
to, they could play a short
they could
ball
go short. He's
Marino.
wide open.
Yeah, I think you got the guy on the end of the wall here. He's starting to shift over. He's ready for it.
The coaching staff are trying to signal it. They're trying to bring him offside, but I think he's there. I think he's on. He hasn't scored, Lucas Marino. Second season. Miami, Florida. Goes in. What a hit!
Didn't need him.
Goal. Didn't need him at all. What a hit there from Michael Grimm. Celebrates his 50th career game with his 5th goal. That is a beautiful free kick here. 21 minutes to go. It's Southwestern 2, Methodist 1.
That's a treat for my first ever call. Wow, what a special goal. Whipped in that top corner. Goalkeeper has no chance. In the end, I always like to switch it up from a set piece. Have 2 guys over the ball or make a short pass to change the angle. But Grimm didn't need it. Set piece. In the first half, he hit the wall from one. That time, no problem, straight into the back of the net.
Beautiful hit, top bin stuff there. No stopping that. You cannot fault the keeper at all. That's just a beautiful free kick. 50th game, scores his 5th career goal. Obviously his first of the season. He only scored 1 last year, so this could be a banner year for Michael Grimm. I think it's going to be a big year for him. His senior season. That's a big, big warning sign for the SCAC. Pressure comes on the goalkeeper. That goes out for a throw-in. Yeah, great work from Michael Skack. He's been on the All-SCAC first team the last 2 seasons. Might be going for a 3-peat. If he keeps playing like that
if he plays like that, he's definitely getting that 3-peat. And you got to give credit back then to the winning the free kick in the first place. It was great footwork in the beginning from Daniel Sartorio. I think I might have butchered that, but, great footwork from him. He sets it up in the first place.
Oh, that's unfortunate there. Yeah, that's Carson Stretz.
It's
Clops it in the head.
Head injury.
Head injury. So, for those unfamiliar, NCAA has a head injury protocol. It's one of the luxuries we can have here because we have the clock stop and all of those kinds of things. So he's going to get himself checked out. It's the right thing to do because, my word, that hurts. So they're going to get him checked out. Means they're allowed a sub. They can just sub someone on straight away while he gets checked out. So...
No, and I've had an unfortunate history with concussions. I left the Trinity team myself because of my experience with concussions. So to have rules like that in place is always a good thing. They've added more rules even at the professional level with the concussion sub now. So it's a great thing for the game because concussions are extremely dangerous injuries.
Yeah, it's a big issue in the game, of course. It's a game where you use your head as part of the game. So it's not incidental. Southwestern want a foul there. Nothing there for me.
I think I'd agree with that.
But, yeah, it was a great change to see when NCAA brought that change in. I was really happy for it. I've seen too many careers have been stopped by concussion. That's a foul there for the Monarchs. They're going to get a free kick here. But too many careers have been cut short by concussion. You're not going to stop it. Concussions are still going to happen. But you can stop it being worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's so important.
And at the very least, you can incentivize taking somebody with a head injury off. That's what they've done at the pro level now with this concussion sub. You get an extra substitute if it's a head injury. It incentivizes not keeping the player on.
That's going to be a foul. Right decision for me. It's going to be a yellow card. Could give a yellow for kicking the ball away there, but I think it would be a bit harsh. He was running to clear it right as the whistle was going. But, yeah, really excited to see that come in. This is the first season, of course, where that's in the pro game. One of those IFAB changes, of course. NCAA soccer doesn't use the IFAB laws. One of the rare times where NCAA soccer was ahead of the game for a law change.
I think the United States in general are ahead of the game when it comes to concussion regulation and stuff like that, partially because of the NFL.
Yeah, we've had sports. There's a lot of sports where that's been a thing, and we've seen the NFL make changes, and that's led to those changes coming down to other levels in other sports. And I'm a cricket fan. I've seen a player die in a game from a head knock as the free kick comes in. Headed by the Monarchs. Good save. One that's played quickly. There was a man there. I think he's holding it a little longer than I would like. You aren't allowed to put that much pressure on. You've got to let the keeper release the ball. So there is a challenge. There is that line of defending and letting the keeper release it. There's the ball come forward. That's a beautiful
ball. He's got space too.
Going out wide. Was looking for Rivera. Goes back for Panos. Beautiful footwork. Sells the dummy. Goes for Broom.
Great move from the center back. I love to see it. I love to see it when a center back can do something a little special like that.
Absolute skills on that one. That's going to be on the highlight reel for sure. Ball swung in. Just no one at the far post, unfortunately, for the Monarchs. Southwestern will clear it away.
Yeah, and forced to clear it there. I didn't think, there was a lot of space in front of him. He didn't have the option necessarily to carry, but if a midfielder can show there, it really opens up the opportunity for the counter.
Yeah, they've only got 3 at the back right now, the Monarchs, as they chase the game with 17 minutes to go. Played forward for Laney. Monarchs lose out. And that's Anderson. Ross Anderson loses out. Ball comes back for Atwell. Does well to earn that foul. If I'm him, I kick the ball into the defender standing over the ball.
So be smart.
Yeah,
you might get
now
you might get a yellow card.
You would definitely get a yellow for that.
I had a coach who always used to tell us if you give away a set piece that you should, attackers walking back in front should just stop right in front of the ball and start retying your shoe.
Retying
just right
your shoes
in
is
front.
a classic one. Push your sock down, put it back up. I think there might be a little too much of that. Oh, decent ball to the far post, actually. Again, the wind does hold it up, but he used that wind perfectly.
Yeah, good decision there to maybe put a little bit extra on it, loft it up. Keeper had to come for it, made the keeper make a decision.
Yeah, got a good punch on it. Comes out to throw in, and it's actually a throw in for the Pirates now. So in the end, it works out well for Southwestern, but that was a chance for the Monarchs. Big chance. That's a yellow card for time wasting, I'm going to imagine. So Southwestern, to explain kind of what happened there, Southwestern deliberately keeping the ball on the pitch to delay the game. Referee was having none of it. It's a yellow card for Sapello.
What speed.
Good save. Goes out. That is a corner. I do think we've had a goalkeeping change, actually.
That's Lucas Nolan again. He's been really good down the wing. He had a real opportunity in the first half where he cut back onto his left foot, just put it wide of that near post. And again, he's coming down the wing. He uses his speed well. He gets across in front.
Yeah, the speed of these two strikers that are interchanging that we were talking about when they came on, really working out. It's Trey Gore in goal for Methodist for the second half.
That's interesting. You know, I appreciate the ability to have a rotation there, but when your goalkeeper has as good a first half as Walker did, you know, sometimes you don't want to make that.
Yeah, I have a hunch that Gore is actually their starter. He started 13 games last season as his first season.
Gotcha.
Walker has only played 12 in his whole career as a junior. So that gives me the hunch that Gore, who is now the keeper for the second half, is their actual starter, which is incredible to me because I thought Walker had a heck of a game.
Walker had a great first half.
So 15 minutes to go, 1-2 Southwestern lead here. So yeah, Trey Gore, 6'3", sophomore from Virginia Beach. He was the goalkeeper of the year in the conference last year, so that's probably a sign that he's a starter. Immediately walked in and became the starting keeper. It was a good bit of work from Rivera, but he loses out. Southwestern back on the ball. Danny Wasserman. Good challenge there. Wasserman. Although now the high press is switched, and it's partly because the Monarchs are chasing the game.
But Southwestern does really well there to break it. Sometimes that can be dangerous. You break the high press, and then you're in. They haven't got men back.
Yeah, big shirt pull, very obvious.
But I think that's back to what we were talking about in the first half. That's a tactical foul, right decision there in the end for me, because if he gets past that defender there, he's in, and he's got support with him. That would be a real opportunity for Southwestern to add to their advantage.
We're going to have a line change from Southwestern by the looks of it.
I can't tell if there's definitely 5 of them who are ready to go, potentially a 6th, so it's a huge substitution.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 6, so we're going to lose half the team for Southwestern. I've got a hunch that these are all going to be defensive changes. Just a hunch. Shout out to Alex Ramson getting ready to come on for the Monarchs, who ducked down because he thought we couldn't see. Appreciate it. Unnecessary, but appreciate it. They're going to sub him off. Rivera seems to be struggling with something. Having a chat to the referee. So they're going to swap him out. It's going to be Nathan Mahuchik coming on.
For Southwestern, Pinto's going back in up top, which I think in a defensive game like this, to have a guy with that type of hold-up play can be really good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be useful.
You have numbers behind the ball, everybody's back, you play it up to him, and he can give your attackers time to get up the field with his hold-up play.
And so they were only allowed, so we talked about the line change that they're doing. They're only allowed to do the one because Methodist did one, so it's a 1-for-1.
Interesting.
Is what you're allowed there. Player that just came in, Mahuchik for Methodist, All-State in high school this year. As he plays his first collegiate season, first collegiate game for him. Southwestern's whip it in. Pinto's got the high. That is a great leap.
An important one,
from
a
Panos.
very important one. Pinto would have had time to take a touch.
Yeah, had a lot of time if he missed that. That's going to be another free kick for Southwestern. Just a little too physical when you're coming in from behind like that. You got to be clean.
Southwestern are doing a really good job right now of controlling the game up a goal right now, though they're drawing a lot of fouls, which is slowing down the game a lot, making it really hard for Methodist to get into a flow.
Yeah, really, really breaking things up. Methodist haven't had a lot of chances in the second half. Been a really different game from them. So we'll see here. Was Marino over it, flicked on, keeper spills it. But there was a defender right there, claimed it well. Good follow-up work from Gore. Gore goes long. Got that South American style kick where he swings around it. Can't let the ball bounce. They do let it bounce. And so Stephen Floyd, the goal scorer, has a chance to run. Going to be a free kick edge of the area. Good work there from the Monarchs.
Yeah, I think, again, it's that situation where you get yourself in front of the defender and in between yourself and the ball, and the defender has no choice but to foul if they want to bring you down. If not, they've got to let you run in. And I want to go back to that opportunity, that save by Gore, because I think I saw a deflection in the middle. Looked like he was trying to set his feet to go one way, has to adjust, make the save, so a really good save there.
And did the smart thing, kept the ball in front where he could see it. So Casey Atwell stands over this one. Does have 4 assists in his career as a senior. From Oviedo, Florida. Swung in. Far post. Headers there. Flicked across. Just can't get on it. Just over the top. Cleared off the line by the Pirates. Now to clear it away. I think he's going to earn the throw there too.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a throw for Methodist. And we're going to see those subs. But what a chance there for Methodist to get back into this one.
7 of them now as
7
well.
changes for the Pirates, which means it's really 8 changes because we saw that one earlier. I think we're going to see a few defensive changes.
Absolutely. What an opportunity there for Methodist. Just create some chaos in the box when you're down like that. Just give your team an opportunity, whether it's off of a rebound, off of a failed clearance. Give yourselves an opportunity to make something happen there.
And so this is an example of that rule change. When the team that's in front, or it's a tie, makes a change in the last 15 minutes now, the clock is always stopped.
Interesting.
Used to be 5 minutes. Now it's 15.
I think that's a good rule change.
It's kind of in the trend of football globally to get more game time. Good ball here. That was a good run. Unfortunate bounce for Methodist. And they're going to keep going with it. So Atwell, who had that set piece, has played in San Antonio, played a big game in San Antonio, played the U.S. Open Cup for Club de Leon when they played San Antonio FC at Toyota Field.
Club de Leon, that's another team I recognize the name of.
That's going to be a foul. No, referee says no. I thought his foot stayed out just a little too much there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. I do think that should have been, and it would have been a set piece in a really dangerous spot, similar position to where Grimm scored from, going the other way, giving the Southwestern the lead with that goal.
Yeah, that would have been a big opportunity. Flicked forward, controlled well by Lambert. First year forward.
He's impressed me since he's been on. He's had really good footwork, and he's not the biggest guy on the field, but he's used his body really well when he's had to.
Yeah, he's 5'7". He was all district in high school this year. Ball cleared away. Controlled by Panos. Panos forward for Mahuchik. Goes out. Throw for Methodist. Change coming. Stretz coming back on. He played every game as a freshman last season, 16 of them. His sister Cheyenne played soccer at Longwood University. He was state champion in high school. It's a phenomenal achievement in Virginia.
Yeah, wow.
Great.
Virginia is a tough place. The further northeast you get, like Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, they have so many teams to compete there. It's tough. It's tough to win a championship.
So much competition. Controlled by the Pirates. Pinto just can't get there. Uses his strength well, but loses out anyway. Still back with the Pirates. Pinto turns well. He's got some space. Plays it down the wing. Do they lose out? They keep possession. So a throw in here. 9 minutes to play. Southwestern 2-1 up on the Monarchs.
They're definitely going to slow it down here with this throw, take their time, try and get as much off the clock as they can, They'll do their long throw. That'll take a little bit longer as well. But you don't want to put too many people forward. A counterattack could be on.
Yeah, though, they have put all but 2 in the box, basically. Throw in, goes far post. Good leap again. The height that the Monarchs players are getting on those jumps is just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, I do think they've made a great adjustment since the first half. I was talking about it a lot, how they were struggling to deal with the set pieces. But in this second half, Methodists have done a great job of winning that first ball and not giving Southwestern a chance to make something happen.
Yeah, it was a set piece that no one could have done anything about that puts them 2-1 up. Beautiful free kick to take the lead.
Yeah, that's a different kind of set piece when you can just strike it direct into the back of the net.
Another throw in. Pinto flicks it on. High boot for me, cleared away. Methodist looking to turn. Just can't get there. Pirates are going to keep possession.
Great defending from Southwestern there to keep the possession.
Yeah, really great work. Colgrove doing a lot of work there. Methodist coming away with it. It's Alicorn, plays it forward for Mott. Josh Mott. Have to distinguish. I always forget there's 2 Motts on the field right now, I believe. Yeah, no foul there. If there was, it would have been against Southwestern because he initiated any contact. Few slips there from Southwestern, gives up possession. Stretz now on the ball. Yeah, reaches in, doesn't get the ball. That's going to be a yellow card.
One thing that I've noticed in this game, and is, I think, in my opinion, part of the reason that Southwestern are still leading, is that when they're in recovery, they're always beating Methodist players back forward. So Southwestern right there, you know, they get the ball in transition. Methodist has the ball. He's looking for options, and the next 3 players to arrive on the scene are all in yellow. It makes it really tough for you to, like, stop and look for an option when everybody coming behind you is a defensive player.
9, 10. 10 players back if you count the goalkeeper for Southwestern on this set piece. 9 forward for the Monarchs. It's going to be a foul and a relieving free kick for the Pirates. 7 minutes to go here. 2-1 for Southwestern.
It's been a really intriguing game. I've definitely enjoyed it. First half was back and forth. You know, Methodist had their strong start. Southwestern then found their way into the game via high press. And then the second half has started well. It was a really fast start. And since then, it's been a very good, like, tactical battle between the two teams, really going punch for punch, trying to make something happen since that second or third
Another
goal.
good flicked on header there. Sorry to interrupt. Ball came forward for Sipelu. It's going to be a corner, I believe. Yes, it is. He has called the corner for Southwestern. Change for the Monarchs. It's a corner. Can't make the change. So, bit of confusion there. I would love to start a campaign for 4th officials in NCAA games, honestly. Because it's a lot for the assistant to manage. Yeah. I always hated as an assistant having to manage substitutions. I'd always wanted to be the junior AR. Far post, headed away. Follow-up is there, but it's too much on it, too high, too wide.
Another dangerous set piece, another great ball from Grimm. I mean, again, I've said it before. I think he's been the player to watch in this game. He has really controlled the midfield in the second half. He's been a large part of why Southwestern have been able to hold on to the ball. And then, obviously, he's got the goal from the set piece, and they've been really good from set pieces all game, and he's been taking most of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's a strong provider. He scores goals. He does everything. All-SCAC tournament team as well. Like, I think he's making a case to be All-SCAC this year. I don't get a vote, so, you know, nothing I get to say in it, but...
It's also only one game in, you know. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, I mean, if God forbid this is the only game he plays, he's not gonna get a shot. So here we go. That is silly. That's a straight red for Josh Mott. I am confused on that one because I thought, if anything, that was going the other way.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think what he's seen is, from his view, Josh Mott has put his boot in when, from our angle, what I've seen is his leg is being held.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And it was interesting as well because Southwestern are in transition there. There's an opportunity for a shot. And then it looked to me, I would say I agree, like he's being held back by his foot. The refs are going to have a conversation
There's going to be a chat with the AR. I do think the AR has a better view of it than the center did. We'll see what he's doing. So the referee has done the discussion. He's saying that he put his studs in.
Yeah, I think in the end what the call is for is got to be something before the original moment of the foot being grabbed, because I don't think that the AR could have missed that part of it.
Yeah, so I think what's happened, I didn't notice it until we saw the leg being held, is he's gone in and he's stomped him and he's retaliated by grabbing the leg.
I agree. I do think
and that's
what's
going to be a yellow card for the coach. I'm unsurprised. It's from what we've seen, it was just a situation where he saw what he saw. We saw the same thing, but I think taking some time to sit back and look at it, he's gone in for a stomp and then he's grabbed the leg in retaliation. And that's what the lasting image is the leg being grabbed. But, but then there's no card for the grab as well, which to me is also a red card offense.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think grabbing back, retaliation, they always try and get rid of retaliation when you can. And that was a big moment of retaliation. He grabbed his foot as he's trying to go back away. And I didn't see him get stomped on. So for us sitting here, it just looked like all of a sudden somebody's grabbing somebody's leg. In the end, AR has said that somebody's been trotted on. So it makes a little bit more sense. But that would be one that I wish we had replay tonight. It would be nice to
it'd be
look
nice to
back
have another
on,
look at it. Unfortunately, you all might have had a replay. We don't have the space for a screen today. So unfortunately, no replay on our end. Let us know what you think in the comments. I don't have a screen to look at them, but I'd love to see the discussion happening.
Yeah. I'll probably look back after the game.
Yeah, we'll look back after the game and see what you all think. But wow. What a flashpoint. Josh Mott given a red card. From what I can tell, it's his first red card for the sophomore.
And it's going to make it really tough for Methodist because they were already struggling, playing from behind, hadn't created too much going forward in this second half to try and get back into the game. And, playing down a man, it's just going to get even harder.
Yeah, they've got 4 minutes to do something down a man. I imagine that Southwestern is going to absolutely park the bus now. Man advantage, goal up. Oh, that's a missed chance there for Methodist, although it's going to come out. Ball goes forward. Got to be careful. Got to keep your hands out of the way there. Keeper comes and gets it. That could have been a really big mistake from Southwestern to give away a penalty.
Yeah, he also almost allowed it. He's just slowed down the ball ever so slightly. It almost allowed Methodist to get there before our goalkeeper or the goalkeeper there.
Ball sent long. That's what Southwestern's going to do the rest of the game. Goalkeeper's going to send it long. Don't think they're going to quite play for the corner yet. Free kick the other way.
I think I agree with that decision as well. He's done well there to get his position in front there, and I think Pinto goes and kicks the ball away.
Yeah, that's what the yellow's for Pinto. Delaying the game is always a bit silly. Delaying the game in NCAA where the clock can just be stopped is ridiculous.
Yeah, and you're just going to get a yellow card. Even at the pro level, you're going to get a yellow card, but you're at least going to have the success of the clock did go down, but the clock did not go down in this instance, so it's a little silly.
Yeah, you might have got a second off the clock.
And Pinto has to come off there, and he's a big part of their game plan for this last few minutes. I've noticed he's been staying up, just forcing Methodist to leave one or two players back.
Yeah, that's the important thing when you're playing defensively is to at least leave someone up to draw that attention away.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to have center backs who can just carry deep into midfield.
Oh, it's a bad throw. Big opportunity here. There's a runner coming right as well.
He wanted the shot.
Going on his own, yeah. A little bit selfish for me there from Nico Colgrove.
Yeah, and now Southwestern have 3 guys back behind the ball. Good recovery, though.
Yeah, really good recovery there. Yeah, the tension really ramping up here. We got 2.5 minutes to go. It's 2-1. Yep. I think that's all ball, but he's got him, and it's going to be a free kick for Southwestern. But I could see the ball move after he made that challenge. So for me, that was all ball.
Yeah, it's a hard one there.
When they come from behind like that,
it's always hard. And I think the referee also has a tough angle. And we've just had a Southwestern player, what I would say, take a dive off the ball. He's been slightly touched, going for the free kicks, trying to set up, and he's just gone down. He's trying to draw a yellow card there. And for me, that's something. There's no place in the game for that.
Yeah, this is there's no place for it in the professional game. There's really no place for it in college soccer. It's not the kind of thing we want to see. These two teams are in no way tense rivals. They've played each other twice ever.
No, but it's been a tense finish to the game. Maybe they'll call themselves rivals after this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of game that starts a rivalry. So, although I think most of the people are going to point at the referee as a rival and not the opponents. But we'll see what happens here. Big chance. Grimm. Swung in. Far post. Dealt with by Methodist. Cleared. Off the back of Grimm. Didn't know much about it. They've got to go forward. They have to go forward. There's no one there, though, so he's got time. Sapelu turns. Makes the run. He's got space. Could play a through ball. Plays offside now, though, so he has to go for it. Sends it wide.
Wow. What a
Goal
hit.
kick. And we're going to see those subs.
Challenged him, made him put under pressure. I mean, it was a great shot. I think Sapelo's been really great in this second half at just taking the ball and putting himself in between the ball and the defender and drawing a lot of free kicks, or they don't foul him and he just gets to carry the ball in like that.
He just got given so much space to run into there.
And I think it's because he's drawn so many fouls from doing just that they don't want to foul him. They don't want that opportunity for Southwestern to draw the clock down anymore.
And especially we saw the free kick from Grimm. You don't want to give away a free kick to a man like that in a dangerous position. But yeah, Sapelu, underrated. He's been really good. Probably haven't said his name as much as a player like Grimm, but look at that again. Beautiful stuff. Oh, he's kind of hacked him there trying to get the ball. Going to give the goal kick, which I think is the right decision because a goal kick is going to be more advantageous than the free kick anyway. So I think that's the right call. 90 seconds. We're going to stop the clock. 90 seconds to go. 2-1 for a goal kick here for Methodist. As the players arrive for the second game, that's Hendricks, if you can see him on the screen, behind the goal.
And Trinity is off behind
Trinity's
the other
on
goal.
the other goal. Getting ready. We'll be almost immediately on. We're already a little bit behind, so...
No breather for us.
Yeah, we will still get a breather because they got to warm up. So you won't have to put up with us for another 2 hours straight. There'll be a little bit of a break. Headed forward by Southwestern. They don't want to be giving up possession like that. With 80 seconds to go, big chance here for Methodist. Look, at this point, Methodist have just got to throw everybody forward. There's no goal difference in college soccer.
No, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do right here. That ball gets cleared up the field, and it gives them the opportunity to put everybody forward. But the high press is making it really difficult.
Yeah, not how I expected Southwestern to play, and it's going to be a free kick for Methodist. So I see why Southwestern's mad about that, because there is a second contact, but the first contact is the dive in on Southwestern.
Yep.
And so you've got, the dive in on Methodist.
Yeah.
So you've got to give that first free kick.
I agree. I think that the winning the ball was fair, but the original action was a foul.
So here we go. Got to hoof it long. Got to go into the box. That is a big kick. Flicked on. Can they get it away? Cleared away by Southwestern. There's no one on that because all 11 are back. Going to have to go long again. 24 seconds left. Swung in, flicked forward. There's a chance here for Methodist. Just beaten to the ball. That was probably it. He's going to kill at least 6 seconds, but he's probably going to kill 12. Let's
probably
be honest.
A little bit more, yeah. The 6 seconds is the letter of the law, but I don't know how often that actually gets held.
He's just going to kick for touch. Oh, he tried to put it out. Methodist aren't really trying to run for it. So that is it. That is the game here. Thrilling game. A few controversial scenes, but it is all over. Good start for Southwestern. They go to 1-0-0. Methodist go to 0-1-0 to start the season. Next match for Southwestern, they're going to play Hendricks, who are coming up next. They're going to play them on Sunday at 7 o'clock. At Georgetown. You can see that on Southwestern's website. Methodist, their next match is right here, 8 p.m. Sunday. Against Trinity, you're going to hear myself, Chris Ockman, and Scott Labo. Thank you so much for joining us. We see you fans there in the chat. see a big Methodist contingent. We hope you'll join us again on Sunday night. It's been an absolute pleasure, a really fun game. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. From Chris Hockman and Scott Lebo, all of us here at Tiger Network, thank you so much. Stick around, Trinity playing against Hendricks at 8. If you're a Methodist fan, we'll hope you stick around to scout that one. Or we'll see you on Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in a little bit for the second game. Thank you and good nights.